Imagine if I just took this and gave it to you right now and said, finish it. It'd be so much easier to finish than, a blank canvas or just going from this. All right, doing a little 30-minute painting here. And this is just a piece of canvas paper that I just ripped out of a canvas pad and got some painter's tape and taped off a little 6x8. I'm gonna just start, I just like blocking out the whole scene with big shapes of flat color. So for a shadow color, the green, I'm gonna get some blue, a little bit cad lemon. It's gonna give me a green. Now I know I'm gonna have to desaturate that. I'm gonna use my cooler red, which is crimson, because this is in the shadows. It's gonna be cooler. And so I'm just trying to come up with an average color. I don't want it too dark. Like I don't want to make it as dark as like the darkest darks here. I kind of want something like that. Maybe I'm gonna get a touch of white. Notice how much paint I'm mixing up. A lot of times I see painters and they're like mixing up like a little bitty pile. Make a big pile because I'm gonna be able to branch off from this. Also notice like how much, like look how much, like how big it, like surface, like when I'm mixing, I'm not, I'm spreading the paint out. This isn't like gloppy and thick. It's a lot of paint, but it's spread out. And that way I can like really load, one side of my brush and can load the other side of my brush. So let me just do a little test stroke here. It's not bad. So I'm just going to kind of map out. So this is going to be light. There's a little light shape right in there. Now let's make the light side of the tree. So I'm just going to branch off my warmer yellow. Got a kind of a cooler yellow and a warmer yellow. So you don't need both yellows. Just kind of look a little bit of a shortcut. So I'm trying to create a color that's lighter, but not super light. That's why I'm mixing it right next to it. Maybe a little bit of red. Saturate it a little bit. I feel like that's the problem so many students do is they make the light side of their trees too bright. And so I'm not worried about like communicating this as a tree or anything. Like I'm just thinking about shape. Yeah, I'll throw in a little. I always say that's like a stray. You got the shadow side, you got the light side, and you have like these strays, and you'll even have stray darks into the lights. You don't want to overdo it because you don't want to lose that good solid form. Let's move on to this tree behind it. This mass of trees. All right, I just want to take a quick break from the lesson to let you know that the full tutorial of the painting that you're seeing in this video is available on Paint Coach Studio. In there I have literally hundreds of real-time painting tutorials all done by me. It's a great way to demystify the painting process and see how a painting is made and how it's not magic. It's a series of steps that you can learn too. I upload a new one every single week, so you never have to worry about not having something to paint. And once you're in, you also get to be a part of the Paint Coach private Facebook group that has close to 1,000 members. It's a great positive painting community of like-minded students that are learning just like you. You can try it free for 7 days to see if you like it. I'll put a link to where you can do that in the description of this video. As things get further away, colors drop out. This is atmospheric perspective. First color dropouts yellows, then reds, and you're left with blues. And I'm seeing kind of like a bluish purple here. And so again, my tree color, let's just branch off right here. Little blue, little white, touch of my crimson, kind of push it towards that purple. You'll also notice in these trees back here, depending how far away they are and how far away you want to make them, the difference between light and shadow gets less. Like here, the difference between light and shadow is pretty clear. Look at these trees back here. That tree's in light right there. That's in shadow. It's a difference, but they're not that big of a difference. So you need to keep that in mind as you're painting. And you can't always go exactly by what you see in the photo. It's a little too dark. You need to use the photo kind of as a starting point, but then you need to make decisions on what is best for your painting. And you might say, okay, I need to kind of push these back in space a little more. So here, light and shadow, I see one color, one simple color for all of this. Now I know you're looking at this and you're seeing green and brown and yellow and pink and this and that. you got to kind of choose one. You kind of got to make a choice for, what do you want this grass to be? Do you want this to be green grass? Do you want it to be brown grass, yellow grass? And I don't know, I think I like the yellow, the golden yellow, and kind of the darkish, almost purplish. I think that purple yellow combination will work well. Also notice, nothing nothing in a landscape painting is by accident. These shadows that are being cast here, I purposely made this one this length, this one a lot shorter, and this one way further. Make them all different. You never want things to be the same size, the same length, repeated, or the same size apart. It's a composition no. It's all about, you gotta make decisions. And the cool thing about painting, landscape painting, is like I could paint this probably 3-4 different times and have 3 or 4 different color combinations down here. That's why you'll see painters paint the same landscape, a lot of times, because they're testing things out, seeing like, oh, what can I do? What would it look like if I did make this green? Would that work with the green trees? Well, what if I made it more, I mean, it is kind of pushed more of the pink now, but what if I did make it more yellow? It's all part of testing things out. And so this is where you want to get to. Like, I feel like at this point, you're more than halfway done with the painting. And I always tell my students, like, imagine if I just took this and gave it to you right now and said, finish it. It'd be so much easier to finish than, a blank canvas or just going from this. So edges wise, like I want a soft edge here. I want these to fade right into that sky, especially on the outer edges. I want them to read more like trees. Mix up some more of the sky color. I'm actually going to cut sky holes into my main tree, so I can kind of pick and choose, like, where do I want sky holes? I don't have to do it exactly how I see it, but maybe there's a hole there. Just kind of soften this edge. Now coming down to the grass, number one thing I want to do is I want to soften, because there's shadows, I want to soften these edges. Just kind of blend in that paint. Now a little trick is, can probably cut in some vertical strokes. Vertical strokes come forward, horizontal sit back, so I can kind of push a little bit of texture, what have you. Can also maybe have a little area of dappled light kind of right there. There is light from the sky, the blue sky or foggy blue sky, being reflected down into these shadows. A lot of times in the shadows, especially the further out away from what is casting the shadow, you're going to get more kind of cool blues. Now I'm just kind of brushing this in very lightly. I'm letting this blue mix into the paint that's there. I don't need it to be super strong, but like just enough. Still watching. And if you really like these 30-minute paintings, kind of like let me know in the comments. Fun painting of a field in Tuscany, Italy. It's actually right next. These is like wine grapes. It's on a vineyard. Chianti region. All right, hope you enjoyed. Have fun painting.